Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, whatever time of the world you're watching this right now. Thank you so much for catching another conversation with one of my amazing clients, Madhura Yashi. Madhura, how are you?
I am fabulous, Linda. I'm fabulous.
Fantastic. Madhura is a keynote speaker and a mentor for women in leadership. And it is an amazing honor and a pleasure to know her just as a woman and for her to trust me with her evolution. And we're going to talk about that because this conversation is focusing specifically on her most recent sale. She's not new to making sales. She's not new to making six figures in her business. She's not new to this. She's true to this. And what a great theme because she is true to this. Although she has closed sales of this amount before, this one is wonderful because it's the first one in a long time. It's a type of sale that this client, who has been a long term client of hers, had never said yes to. I don't know, Madhura. Is it because you never offered it? And we're going to talk about all of that. So, congratulations on your first. It was like $18,000 almost, and that's huge.
Thank you.
Paid in full.
Yep.
And I know you live in Canada and I live in the United States, but close enough, right? That the economy is doing what the economy is doing in Canada as well.
Yep.
And a lot of people will say, I'm sure you've heard this because you network a lot. People are like, oh man, the economy's bad right now.
Yep. Absolutely. There's always an excuse, right? There's always
Well,
an excuse.
and there's always, I will say, excuses, reasons like, yeah, if you have a job or you live out in the real world, because we don't live in the real world.
No.
We are like beings. We float around in the real world. Like, that's crazy that you think like that. I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
Right. But people in the real world, they are experiencing a contraction in the economy. Interest rates are high right now. Like all these things that happen when particular presidents are in power or a particular party is in power. Um, so your client is the kind of client that lives in that world. Like
Mhm.
they have a brick and mortar or they work. I don't know what to share. I don't want to. I want you to share whatever you want about your client. But they live in an economy that dictates like the economy's doing this, and they had $18,000 to pay you.
Mhm.
And so I want to start off with that because the economy is doing what the economy is doing, and people have money to pay. So tell us, start wherever you want to start, for telling us how this sale went down and why it's so big that we are on this interview celebrating it.
So this sale is really big because I've worked with this client on and off for almost 10 years. Was
Mm-hmm.
my first major client paying me four figures. And then the reason I never got a 1 year contract with this client is because I never pitched it. I never actually broke it down and said, here are the options. So it was always like, okay, here's 3 months, here's 6 months, but there was never here's a 1 year option to work with me, and here's the price. And what I love what I love about working with US clients is you guys get a discount because the Canadian dollar is lower. So I will price it at US dollars, and it's a great deal for US clients because it's more for us, but it's less for you. And so it's a win-win. I get more money, they get a deal, and everybody wins at the end of the day. So that was the biggest it was a big deal because it was the first time I pitched that level for him. And yeah, and it was the easiest. It was a quick text like, "Hey, your contract's coming up. Here are the options. Here's what you get. What do you want to do?" It was detached. I already knew it was going to happen because I knew we were going to work together. I just didn't know at what level he was wanting to go. And so that's really how it all came to fruition.
I love that. I want to ask, I'm going to ask it because I don't want to forget. This gentleman has been working with you for 10 years. What do you see? So this guy is what I call a dream client. I think ideal clients are people who can pay us. That's fine. You're ideal because you could pay me. You say you want this result. But dream clients are those people who they stay year after year. They get it. you've watched him evolve, he's watched you evolve, but what do you see in him as, like, if you could clone those traits into everyone else and everyone else would be dream clients? What are those traits of his?
The ability to see, one, he when he said yes to working with me, he's like, this investment makes me have hope. Working with you makes me have hope and excitement for what's possible for me. That was the
Mhm.
first piece. Because as you know, when we're working with clients, it's an honor for us to be with them because they're trusting us with their hard earned money. They're trusting us with their time. They're trusting us to guide them to their next level. And so with him, it's been his willingness to be coachable. And I think that's a big piece because if you're not coachable, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at the problem, you're never going to find a solution. And
What
willing
makes
to
him
see the issues.
coachable? What makes him coachable?
He's always wanting to improve. If he sees himself going down the rabbit hole and being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to hit rock bottom," it is a text. Like we've worked on and off for these 10 years. And it's years at a time. And then he's like, okay, I feel like I'm good. And then if I get the text saying, okay, let's chat. And every time I get the text of let's chat, I know, okay, you've gone back to the same habit and you need to be reeled in. And so it's that piece of awareness to know that if left to my own devices, I'm screwed at
Mhm.
the end of the day. So I think that is it, is the fact that he's willing to take the advice, talk it out, spend the time and effort and money, and do the work.
Mhm.
And there's no fighting me. There's no, oh, you're wrong, or getting hurt over feelings. Takes feedback properly and says, oh, yeah, you know what? And is willing to see a different perspective.
Mhm.
Willing to see that different perspective and willing to move through whatever he's going through and looking at all of the different outcomes that are possible for him and
Yeah.
knowing it's possible.
I love what you said, takes feedback properly, because in what that means to me is you can choose to get triggered and get mad, or you can choose to pivot because the mirror was so clear. So when you give him uncomfortable feedback, he grows from it. He doesn't like get mad that you said that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. Yeah. So let's talk about how you've worked with me. You kind of mirrored this client. You are definitely a dream client. You've been with me mostly on more than off. I think you were off for just a year, and it was because, I mean, I don't think your husband had passed yet, or had he?
I think well, we were, yeah, I don't remember, to be
I don't
honest.
know. It was, but you were right there. It was a
It
lot
was
going
it was
on.
about it was around that time and things were kind of really icky.
Hmm.
He hadn't passed. Well, that's the thing. I don't quite remember because
Yeah.
it feels like it's just a bit of a blur in the
Yes.
last 3 years.
And I
But
do know that, I mean, I clearly remember where I was having breakfast when you called me with the news. And I'm like, was she my client then, or should he just stop? Either way, you took time, because then a lot of real life that happens when a spouse passes. And even though you guys had a lot of the stuff set up legally, there were some loose strings that I used to have a friend that said, people die every day that haven't died before. And whenever you have a death of a spouse, most people don't get married to bury their spouse. So you can't fully be prepared for that. So there were all of these things, property and family and drama that ensued. And that took you almost 18 months to 2 years
yep.
to deal with that. And then you decided to come back. I knew when you came back, you were at this, like, you had made 6 figures working with me. When you left, you just had that first 6 figure year. And now you were back like, girl, I haven't done anything. I
Yeah.
think you had some clients that love
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And they were with you, but you hadn't made any new offers. You weren't showing up. Your social media was dead. It was like Lazarus come forth. And normally I don't work with Lazarus, but you're not Lazarus. You'd already made six figures. And we were like, oh, and she's had this life situation happen. Tell me how you navigated yourself through that to then come and say, Linda, I'm ready to work with you again. And also, how have I mirrored, like, how have you seen an evolution in me? You were evolving and you were like, I'm going to choose to evolve with Linda. And what about my own evolution, if any, inspired you to come back?
I think for me, because I saw when we first started to work together, it was 2020,
Mhm.
2021. And we were in a mastermind prior to that. And you, there was this badass side of you that I was like, I want that. I want that confidence or courage to come out. And it was inspiring to see. I'm like, yeah, if she can do it, I can do it too. There was that sense of,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
And then there was a softness that appeared in you. There was a softness that I saw that I'm like, okay, I see this and I want that. I want to be able to harness that softness because yeah, I had been in survival mode for so long, dealing with life. I was like, I can't do this by myself. I have no idea with this way the world was turning, the internet streets were not the same as when they were 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And so it was trying to navigate all this. And I'm like, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. And I was going back to school to do my master's. And I'm like, I need guidance. I need support. I need community. And so that's why I said, okay, Linda, let's go. Because there was an offer that was on the table. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Let's I have my head somewhat above water at this point that I can kind of move in the direction. And it's still even in that time frame, there was a lot of evolution that happened with how I was showing up, my identity switch, me still kind of teetering back and forth between who
Lord.
I was to who I am today. And it is night and day. Like I look back at some of my videos, I look back at pictures and I'm like, huh. But I needed to walk through that. I needed to walk through that wilderness to really step into who I am today.
Let's talk about that because you mentioned it. So I want to talk about it now so that people can understand. I made an offer. It was called 100K Masterclass. You came to it. You were like, I'm in. And through that year, I taught, as soon as you joined the 100K Masterclass, I taught Sales Dominatrix. I taught movement. I taught altar. I created Woman of Power in real time. And I want to be, before I get to Woman of Power, because I want to take people through the evolution. I'm so glad that you brought it here to the table. You were in my space through all of those. You came to the calls, you took notes, you asked questions, and nothing financially was happening in your business.
Hmm?
How did you feel, or how did you feel through that? Were you like, I'm okay, I'm growing? Were you frustrated with yourself? What was happening?
I think I was looking at it from the perspective of I know it's going some by doing it, and I've always believed in this, is that no matter you can't lose if you invest in yourself. If you show up and you invest in yourself, you will not lose. It might not show up when you expect it to show up, and it might not happen at that time, but it will happen and it'll be better than you thought as long as you continue and you don't give up. The minute you give up and you're like, oh, it's too hard, or yeah, it was frustrating. There's days where I throw my hands up going, what the hell am I doing? But I knew I've been in this season before. It's being in business in the online space and in coaching and consulting for what I'll be 10 years this July, I think, when I first started my business in 2026 or 2016. It's ebbs and flows. The amount of time I was like, I'm going to get a job. And it every time I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to jump back into something that I know is not meant for me? I know I'm meant for this space. Stop playing victim in a sense and just trust the process. And that's where that faith came in. That faith piece of being like, okay, I have burnt that bridge a long time ago. I can't rebuild it now. So it is, yeah, there was frustration. There was frustration, but I knew, hey, you know what? I'm also doing my master's. I've got the kid. There's a lot of moving parts and I was still dealing with stuff. So giving myself grace through it and knowing that, yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's no, you can only keep going up. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the saving grace to not give up, is trusting that it is going to happen.
Right.
And it is,
Because,
and it has.
and it has, because you're also a badass coach and mentor. And you know that as badass as you are in what you do, you can't wave a magic wand and give your client the results. They have to do that piece, right? So, and I always say, I wish everyone would just come and win this quickly with me, but I can't control everyone's learning curve. I can't control when that piece of the puzzle clicks, because it's like one conversation, one sentence, boom, it clicks. Just one sentence, right? And so now I want to ask, when I as of October, personally, I say this for me. From I've always been pretty tell it like it is, straightforward, not because I want to hurt my clients' feelings, but because I I can't babysit you. I need to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
How has it felt at times when I have just given it to you inside of the mastermind or personally?
I think it depended on when you gave it to me. Because if it was the time of the month, I might have been like, it's hitting a little bit. And I'm like, okay, let me sit with this for a bit, because there's a reason. And I always knew it wasn't coming from a place from you that you didn't care. It was always from a place of care. Because some people
Mhm.
say stuff and they're out to get you, or it's meant to
Yeah.
hurt. So I always knew that coming from you, that it wasn't there to hurt me. It was there because that's what you're there for. You're not there to give me unicorns and lollipops and say, "Oh yeah, it's all going to be." No, because that's not what you're there for. You're there to guide me, and sometimes it's not going to feel easy to hear. But that's what helps you grow. And I've always had that mentality. So I wasn't going to get butt hurt over it for a long period of time. I was going to sit with it and say, "Okay, what do I need to learn from this piece of feedback?"
Mhm. I love that. Madhura, I have seen, I think you're on day 45 of the Say It Anyway challenge. And I'm so freaking proud of you, first and foremost. This is a challenge for those of you that are watching that I issued about 46 or 47 days ago. She hopped on it and she has been consistent with it. I love it because you had never created these many pieces of content in 45 days ever,
Never, never.
ever, ever
No,
in the existence of Madhura Yashi from the beginning of time.
no. And it gave me, I think on Instagram, it told me that I've done 19 weeks straight of content creation. And I was
Shut
like,
up.
who, like,
Congrats.
thank
Who
you.
are you right now?
What is this? But yes,
Okay. And so, for those of you, in case you can't tell by looking at Madhura, that she's some type of ethnicity, some type. Uh, she's some type of brown, you know. Madhura has Indian parents. Madhura's Indian. I'm Puerto Rican. And I know that a lot of my clients are women of color because, like, we get each other. We have all of this good girl conditioning that Madhura, like, it has been leading. Madhura has led in her entire life with the good girl, knowing that she has a little black sheep in there, knowing that she has a little sales dominatrix in there, knowing that she has a little, a little sting in there. She's got different lenses that she brings her message across. I remember a couple of years ago, you were leading with pussy power. And the first time that you said that in front of a group of people with a microphone on a stage, you were like, "Oh my God, Linda, I got off the stage and there were people waiting for me at my table." Right.
yeah,
But first you were like, "How is this going to land?"
yeah,
When you sent me the video, everyone collectively in the room was like, when you said pussy, and like I wanted that Madhura to be on camera, the one that says pussy power, the one that says, "I don't like when people do this shit. I don't like when people I don't like this bullshit." That wasn't coming across. And these 46 days, you've been doing that. I see this, Madura. I've interviewed you a few times. For those of you that follow my YouTube channel, you can go see all of the evolutions of Madura. You literally can see how she's dressed and how she talks in every interview that we've had. This Madura, she came when we were backstage, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is your cult character. I need this Madura to create videos."
Yeah.
And you guys know my brand, it's dark. I was like, damn, should I go put on some I need to match this energy. You know? She I For those of you that are watching and you might be thinking, why is Linda harping on and on about this? Because I teach sales and business through the lens of identity. And this is clear. I mean, it is palpable. It is literally, you are transferring, you are emitting a frequency right now. Tell me, when you were getting ready to come to this call, why did you choose that blouse? Why did you choose this look?
Actually, I bought this blouse and I loved it. I wore it on stage and when I was speaking, and I love it because it's feminine, it's sexy, but it's not over the top. Like, it's got this allure to it that allows me to really step in to who I know I am. And I love red and purple. I want to get this in purple. Like, I'm gonna see how I can do
Yeah.
that. But I like red because it's power. There's power. There's persuasion. There's magnetism.
There's
There's
fire and
something
passion.
in all of that. And being the year of the fire horse, why not? Why not
Yeah.
run with that fire energy? And that's really why I chose it. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, okay, what do I wear for this? And I remember the shirt. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wear this because this is fun and sassy and a little bit of spice to it. So yeah, that's the reason.
I I'm telling you, this needs to be, this is your cult character. This is the woman. This woman is the one that makes all the money in your business. This lady with the red lace blouse, with the fire, with the hunger, with the passion, with the femininity, with the power, all of it. It's who you are. All of these sides of us. It's not even duality. Duality is just like two things. We are so many things, right? I'm a mom, but I'm not nurturing my clients, but I understand them because I am a mom and I know that they're also moms, right? But we're not here to nurture anyone. Let me go back to you having a six-figure year and then life doing doing what life did. And then you intentionally, because it's always, hindsight is 2020. We can look back and be like, oh, I know why I did that. You were like in preservation mode. You intentionally chose that. You intentionally chose to step out of six-figure mode, and then it's been a good 2 years
Yeah, and
since you started making money again.
I think it's because there was just so much going on. I was in courts. There was all kinds of external factors that were pulling me, and I couldn't even see straight. Trying to keep the kids and their emotional health while dealing with my own stuff and grief counseling and all the things. I couldn't fully be 100% where I knew I needed to be in order to make those six figures again.
Mm,
And so for me, it was survival mode. And I had to say, you know what? This is reality. Yes, was I still on the internet streets? Sure. Was I visible? There's no comparison to where I am now to where I was then. Like, there's none. I
mhm,
can't compare that.
mhm,
I kept it going here and there through speaking engagement. So people were seeing it. So I hadn't completely fallen off the face of the earth, but
mhm,
no one really knew the backstory unless you were in my world. And I didn't want people to know that because I didn't want it to be out there. It was nobody's business. It was my own. And
mhm.
so that's kind of why I did it. I had to step back for my own sanity and preservation because it was a whirlwind. It felt like a fog for the last 3 years where
Mhm.
I couldn't I was just taking it day by day and praying that, you know what, just get me to the next day, get me to the next day, get me to the next day. That's really what it was. And that's why I had to, because there was no way I could do both. At that point, it was gonna end me in a really bad way if I didn't.
Noted, and definitely important to know exactly where you are and do what is required. Like, I don't believe in, oh, you were just telling yourself that you had limiting beliefs. No, like, your life was lifing, and like you said, your kids' mental health, like having to bury a parent. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that because I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So emotions and all the things that kids are experiencing. Um, One of the things that I have always taught in my coaching containers is that there's different ways to make money with your expertise. And I built my business in a consulting boutique style way. And even my mastermind is very small, it's small and high end. And I think for the first time ever, I think for the first time ever, when I said to you, Madhura, you're not a coach, you're a speaker. And yes, you can mentor with that.
Yep.
But you're not going to be doing a master class every month and
Nope.
inviting people, right? Like, you are a speaker.
Yep.
How did, like, and because you had been speaking already, but like, you hadn't really owned, like, this is a business. I can make offers with this. I can go corporate with this.
Yep.
That was a big shift. And I think it was very instrumental in allowing you to show up in these 46 days.
It did, because I think I was teetering on it, and I know we've talked about it before, and you're like, no, but you're a speaker. Like, you need to stop playing. Own it. Just stop playing with yourself and own the fact you're a speaker. And I think as soon as I did that, how I showed up on stage, the energy when I walked into a room shifted. Not that I can't walk into any room and own the room. That has never been an issue, but it's different when you're stepping into a room knowing you're a keynote speaker,
That's correct.
because there is a different kind of energy before you get on that stage. There's a different kind of way to ensure that people are following the words that you're saying, and you're not losing them halfway.
Mm.
And that, for me, when I owned it, I realized, okay, now this is truly my calling. And it made it easier. It made it easier to show up, and people are like, you deserve. And the amount of times that I've heard, you deserve to be on that stage. Other people were great, but you deserve to be on that stage because people needed to hear your message. And the clarity, and now I think the clarity really started in from about January, February. February, I ended up in Orlando for eWomen Platinum Summit, and I was chosen out of, I think there was 200 plus women competing, and they chose, and it this is how I know God plays amazing ways, because I didn't know, and this is the good girl conditioning that came out to play, because they said to us, oh yeah, you have to vote, and we were in small groups, and I didn't know you could vote for yourself, but I knew I was the
Voted for
one,
me.
that I knew that I had a very strong talk. You were given 5 minutes to speak, and you had 5 minutes to prepare, and this was the topic. And I knew that I had my story, and all this was very clear, but I didn't know I could vote. And when I talked about it, then I got pulled aside. I thought, okay, I'm not being chosen. Someone else got picked. Last minute, they said, you're the last speaker. And I was right before lunch. So there's 17 of us, and
Wow.
I ended up in the top 10. So I'll be speaking in Dallas on the big stage at the conference with over 600 women. So that was the key point where I'm like, okay, I know my message, I have a framework, I know where I'm going with this, and I can flip it. And for the first time, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I was speaking to a room of event coordinators and event planners, and I was thinking to myself, how do I flip this to, because I've been speaking to women for so long, how do I flip this to a room now of people in the event space? And
Mm-hmm.
because I had the framework, I just used that, and it was clear. It was so clear. And then it was this big aha moment of, holy shit, this framework can be applicable to so many different groups of people. And I don't need 10,000 different speeches. I can have that one framework and pivot. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, now I
Okay.
really am moving.
Huge, huge, huge. What you said was, I had to step into that identity. I'm a speaker. That stood out for me because I shared with you ladies inside of Mastermind, and I'm going to share it here. I've actually made a couple of reels, but I'm going to share it here in this interview. I've been creating content the whole time that I've been a business owner. I don't have a problem going live on Facebook, going live anywhere, going on YouTube, right? But I never owned the identity that I am a content creator.
Yeah.
I was a Linda who makes content sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you were Madhura who speaks.
Yeah.
You hadn't owned, no, baby. I am a speaker.
Yeah.
And when that mic is in my hand, the entire the room moves, the entire atmosphere shifts, transformations happen. People are waiting for me at the back of the room. They were doing that before when you were just speaking. You just hadn't really made the identity click.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you're like, I am the shit. Now you get on the stage and you are a speaker. You have that certainty. You command. They're like, yo, we loved all the speakers, but you're the best. Like you literally belong up there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about them other folks because they don't work with me. But a lot of people are Susan who speaks about a topic, right? And you were Madhura who spoke about feminine leadership. And now you embody fucking feminine leadership because 46 days in, a leader who made a commitment to make content every day, and she does. That's really fire, Madhura. I really had to mirror that to you right now here so that you can remember this. It was the identity the whole time. But
100%.
right, 100%. But when I'm marketing to people, for example, people are not buying, I want a different identity. They're like, I want to make more money, Linda. I know you do, but it's your identity that's preventing you from. It's you,
Oh, 100%. If
right?
you don't, what I realized, and it's funny you said content creator, because one of the ladies that I gone to this Mother's Day brunch, and a lady messaged me after, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you're a content creator." I'm like, "I'm not." And then I thought about it, and I'm like, "Actually, yes, I do create content."
You
It
are.
took a minute. I was like, "Wait," and she said, "Well, you would have fooled me." And I'm thinking, actually, yes, I do create content, so therefore I'm a content creator. Like it didn't click in that sense, but identity, unless you are embodying the version of you that is that next version, it's going to be, I speak on this topic. I'm not a speaker,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not a coach, or I'm not whatever.
Yes.
But that identity shift. And you've been talking about this for years. I have the books. Like it just didn't, I think I had to go through all of the stuff to really
You
step into
do.
her. And I think that's really what it was. Like I was teetering, and you've told me this a million times. Madhura, you've stepped into mom role right now. You're
Yeah,
and
you're being a
yes,
mom right now.
you're
You're
being
just
a
being a mom right
mom.
now.
You're being a mom, and that's fine. Like yesterday, I did one, and I was back from I'm coaching my son's soccer team, so I still have my soccer gear on, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. You'll see that part of me, but I made the reel based on that, so it made sense.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. And you know what else I love? I was just telling Dr. Alex this morning, I was talking to her and I said, I'm going to teach Alter once a year, at least once a year. And it'll definitely be when you start working with me inside of Woman of Power, you'll have to watch Alter if you didn't catch it live, because Alter is the place where you will put down your current identity at the altar. Last year, Dr. Alex said she was putting her lab coat because
Mm,
she didn't want to lead with a lab coat Dr. Alex.
yeah.
She just wanted to be Dr. Alex in a bikini or whatever she's wearing, you know? Yeah. And it was very difficult because when that's your identity, Dr. So and so. So she put the lab coat at the altar and she's never picked it up.
Yeah.
And she's making 5, 6, multiple 5-figure months. Until she put her lab coat down, she didn't do that. And so I recognize that you have understood there is an identity that I have that I had to put down to step into this new one. And it's not one time.
No.
We have to, every time you want your next level, your current identity must die.
100%.
I know some people don't like that word. Some people are like, well, I'm very spiritual and I don't think that we
Nah.
kill identities. Then go to the I don't kill identities.com, coach. Like, I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole.
But
you know?
again, also, as you grow, the old version of you has to die. That's just the evolution of a human being.
Yes.
And if you are not growing, you're dying. That's said in every book known to mankind that talks about personal development. So,
But what I have experienced as a mentor in this space is that people want to go to their next level, and they do. They go make $140,000 in 4 months. And then when they hit that upper limit, instead of saying, hello, coach, I need this support here. No. They want to go back to the old identity. They really didn't kill her.
No.
So this work is it's ongoing. But I'm just telling you, I see right now at this in this season, I am witnessing you evolving, stepping into your next level and leaving that old identity behind. And I just want to say, I see it and it's wonderful and it's going to make you tons of dollars. And all the money that you're looking for is this woman right now that's wearing this blouse.
Yeah.
And yeah, she coaches her son's soccer team. And yeah, she MCs events. And yeah, she has a mom that is judgmental or whatever. I know I do. All people from other countries, we have crazy parents. Just
It is, yeah.
And you have your private life, your relationships and stuff. But this woman, this is the one that can close $18,000 deals in cash. This is the one that invites some and says, totally detached from the outcome. Like, these are your options. Whichever one he was going to take, he was still going to say yes.
He was going to say yes. So it wasn't, and I think also there was one thing that happened last year that I think when I took the step was when we started talking about keynote speaking and all that. And I went to Miami, and I wanted to pull off my international speaker. I wanted to pop that cherry. And the day before I flew, I made the investment to take a makeup course. And that was such a huge identity shift for me. Because
talk about it right now, because people be like, makeup, why would that help you make money? Like, what?
Yeah, there is a huge correlation, because as soon as I learned how to do my makeup for myself, because I wasn't, as much as I love makeup artists, and actually my cousin fired her makeup artist years ago and got me to do her makeup back then. Not that I had any clue, because she loved what I did for myself. And she just got the makeup artist in India to do her hair. She fired her on her makeup. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I ended up doing everybody's makeup. So I always had that knack. But when I learned from a makeup artist how to do my makeup, my confidence skyrocketed, because I knew that no matter what stage I'm on, whatever pictures, anything going forward, I don't have to depend on someone else. I will show up like someone else did my makeup.
Okay.
And it's on point, and it just gives you that sense of confidence and courage to go up there and shine. And I think every woman, for their self, it is fun. Does it take a while? Yeah, it takes a while. Eyebrows are a pain in the butt. It's a skill. And I think every woman who is front facing, who is in, even if they're not front facing, like, I think every woman should know how to do their makeup, because it makes you just feel so good about yourself. And yeah, sure, there's most days if I don't have to put makeup on, I won't, because it takes time. But when I put my makeup on, I feel amazing, and it's always on point, because now I have this skill that if someone says, hey, I'm speaking, I can charge for that now, because I've actually been certified, because it was a full day makeup class. Wow. And now that makeup artist is hiring me to speak at her next event and paying me. So
Mm,
all that investment not only paid itself back times 100, because I've how many times do I do my makeup a week and speaking
exactly.
events,
Exactly.
but now it's opened up doors to say that I can speak at these events, and it's part of my portfolio going forward. So I think there is a huge correlation on how you present yourself, how you walk into every room. If you are on point, anytime you're in front of the camera, anytime you have to go to a networking event, you don't have to depend on someone else to come do your makeup. You do your makeup and you will show up as fire in any of those rooms.
Fire. Right? Because Madura says fire. I say, if you're the shit, you need to be the shit. You can't just be like, I'm the shit and you look like homeless.
You
You
can't
know?
you can't be the shit and look like soccer mom. You can't.
Okay. Even Mother's Day was this weekend. My daughter, well, she's my daughter, so of course she knows me. Part of my Mother's Day gifts were oil blotting papers because like if I don't have them, I'm gonna take a napkin, right, and dab. And she knows that I'm constantly doing this because I have oily skin. What a wonderful, thoughtful gift! My oil blotting papers that
Yeah.
fit perfectly in my makeup bag because I'm the shit. Because I'm the shit. That's it. So if you're like, well, that's bougie. That's not bougie, honey. I'm the shit. You didn't know? Did you not
And
Google
there's
me?
no wrong about there's nothing that's one thing I also wrapped my head around. It's okay to be bougie. It's okay to be
Absolutely.
bougie. There's nothing wrong with it.
I have
You've got
standards that you don't have. You think they're bougie? Okay, you think that's bougie. I just have standards. Yeah.
this is how I want to live my life. And
I
it
am high maintenance. Yeah.
that
I'm
that's
high
okay. I
maintenance.
like nice things. Why is that
Correct.
a bad thing? So
Yeah. Why is that a
I
bad thing? Like, oh, Linda, you don't want to date any men that are like, you're a gold digger. I am. I'm gonna like date a brokey. No. Do you know how hard I've worked to build the kind of life that I have? I'm not trying to enable a dude. No. So yeah, I'm a gold digger and I am bougie and I'm high maintenance. I love it. Madura, what is there anything that we didn't talk about that you were like, I wanted to make sure I said this during this interview. I wanted to make sure I brought this forward that I
I
didn't ask
think
you about?
the biggest thing is when you invest in yourself, your ROI is not going to be what you think it is. And I think
Mhm.
so often we say, okay, I'm going to invest in a coach and they're going to give me the secret sauce. No, they're not going to give you necessarily the secret sauce, but they'll show you, they will embody it if you have a really good one.
Mhm.
But you have to do the work, and it's not necessarily going to be an easy path. You are going to have to do the work. You are going to have to sit in the shit. You are going to have to uncover what's holding you back. And you're going to have to learn to step out of your comfort zone and take feedback and learn from it. You might get butt hurt, and that's okay. Just deal with your emotions and move forward, because it's all moving you forward, and it's not necessarily going to be on the timeline that you'd hope for. People who are
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm going to invest today and in 6 months it's going to happen. It might, but that's not the reality of the fact.
Mhm. Correct. And
It's not.
I want to add this to that because that's so good. Like people who work with me, you can I can help you launch a podcast. Madura's never said I want to launch a podcast. I help my clients write and publish their own books. Madura hasn't said I want to write and publish my own book. I help my clients create their own soundtracks, create their own music production companies and produce music and create their music. Now all my clients know how to do that because we just learned that. It was so much fun, right? Like I help my clients land corporate contracts. Like there's so many things that I can help you do and Madura hasn't said in order for me to get all my money's worth, I have to launch a podcast. I have to write a book. I have to do all the things that Linda teaches, or I'm not getting my money's worth. I love that. You're like, no, this is what I want, and this is my path, and I want this type of support. I appreciate you, Madura. If somebody, because this is not just true for working with me, but this is true with working for you. Like you are a high level dream client, what would you say to people who are like sitting on the fence about making an investment to hire support for their next level?
If you are on the fence, get off the damn fence. Straight up. Because again, you cannot go far by yourself. You can't. And you were never meant to build, whether you're a leader in corporate, whether you're an entrepreneur, you were never meant to go alone. You need support, you need community. You cannot see what you can't see. Your blinders are on. You can only see from your perspective, and your lived experiences are going to get in the way. Your BS in your mind is going to get in the way. Other people's perspectives are going to get in your way. And so having someone there to cheer you on and be your cheerleader, like a true cheerleader, not just smoke or blow smoke up your ass, but a true cheerleader who can see you for what you like, borrow their confidence in you. Because sometimes, yeah, there's days where you don't have the confidence. And having that person believe in you when you don't believe in yourself is crucial. So if you have a mission on this planet that you know is bigger than what you have in your mind, get support, because that's the only way you're going to get there. Find yourself a mentor, find yourself a coach, find that person that you resonate with that has given you an aha moment from a 10-minute conversation. Once you
Absolutely.
get that, the sky's the limit. And stick with them. Stick with them, because and you will know if they're the type of people who are type of person that invests in themselves, you will see the transformation, and you'll want to hook on to that and go with them. But if you find someone that has never invested in themselves, all that, don't go there, because you will put money
Yeah.
into it
You'll be
thinking shit.
stuck with
You'll be
them.
stuck. You'll be stuck with them, and then it just becomes this toxic relationship that you're not gaining anything from. So you might as well get out
Exactly.
of it. So
Exactly.
that's what I think. It's, if you're on the fence, get off the fence, make a decision, draw a line in the sand, and go for it, and commit. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not even going to be on your timeline 95% of the time. But it will
Absolutely.
happen if you stick with it.
I love it. Madhura, where can people find you if they want to bring you to their stage or they would like to learn more about working privately with you?
They can find me on Instagram. They can find me on not Twitter, TikTok. They can find me on LinkedIn. I'm getting my YouTube channel up and ready because that thing has died and needs resurrection. So we're gonna bring that back up and get that going. So yeah, you can find me on all the
Is
major.
it therealmadurayoshi.com?
Yeah, so therealmadura.com is actually being redone right now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
to reflect who I am now, that's another thing. Make sure that your platforms reflect who you are, because if people land there, they're gonna be like, who the hell is this?
Exactly.
So yeah.
So okay, so Madhura, the real Madhura. What is the Instagram handle?
At the Real Madura. So it's the Real
Okay,
Madura.
at the real Madhura. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So at the real Madhura on Instagram. Wait for the
Madura.me on
rebrand
LinkedIn.
on the internet for the realmadura.com. But
Yeah.
literally, Instagram or Facebook, you can find her, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
is amazing. Thank you so much for this time today, Madhura. I appreciate
Thank
you. I'm so
you.
proud of you. And for those of you who are watching, if you feel like Madhura is your jam, reach out to her. If you feel like, holy shit, I want to go quantum leap, even though I hate that phrase, but literally, if you want to go fast and you have a business that you are an expert at already, right? I wish I could tell you that I love working with people who have an idea for a business. That's not my specialty. You are already great at what you do. You have a certain level of certainty and you want to put gas on it, then reach out to me anywhere that you're watching this and let's get that conversation going and let's see if we can work together. Thank you so much. I wish you the best and see you guys soon. Bye.